You're all welcome to today's news analysis. This one is hot. This one is deep. And this one could change 2027. If you care about Nigeria's future, stay with me till the end. No noise. No drama. Just facts and sharp thinking. Before we go on, if you like clear and honest political talk, support this channel. Tap subscribe. Turn on your notifications, so you don't miss what others will explain too late. Now, let's get straight into it. A strong voice has spoken. Not from the street. Not from social media noise. This is coming from inside the political space. Peter Obi's running mate's brother has come out strong. Very strong. His message is simple. Very direct. Atiku Abubakar should step aside. Not fight. Not divide. But step aside. Why this statement matters is not because of who said it alone, but when it was said and what it represents. Nigerian politics is already warming up for 2027, even if leaders are pretending otherwise. Behind closed doors, calculations are ongoing. Alignments are forming. And silence, in politics, often means planning. This statement cuts through that silence. It is not an insult. It is not an attack. It is a strategic demand. The call is clear: if the ADC wants to stand a real chance in 2027, it must think beyond personal ambition and focus on national mood. The speaker is pointing to a simple truth many politicians avoid saying openly: Nigeria is hungry for a different outcome. The 2023 election changed the political temperature of the country. Millions of Nigerians, especially young people, voted with hope, not fear. Peter Obi became the symbol of that hope. Whether critics like it or not, his popularity was not manufactured. It came from frustration with the old order and belief in a new direction. That energy did not disappear after 2023. It went quiet, but it did not die. This is why the statement carries weight. The message is not that Atiku is weak. It is that the moment has moved beyond him. Atiku has contested several times. He is experienced. He is respected in many circles. But politics is not only about experience. It is about timing, mood, and public trust. The argument being made is simple: the country is ready to try something it has never tried before. This is where the Igbo presidency question enters the conversation again, not as sentiment, but as strategy. For decades, Nigerians have spoken about inclusion, fairness, and unity. Yet one region remains outside the presidency. That gap has now become political reality. And that is why Hakeem Baba Ahmed's words are central to this discussion. Atiku could say our best hope is, why couldn't we produce an Igbo president? Peter Obi is with us. If we could combine his huge popularity in the southeast and go out into the country, we could say, let's try an Igbo president. This statement is not emotional language. It is political logic. It suggests that Atiku, instead of standing in front, could stand behind a broader national project. A project that speaks to fairness, rotation, and national healing. The speaker is not saying Atiku should disappear. The call is for Atiku to play the role of a statesman, not a contestant. To help build a coalition that sends a powerful signal to Nigerians and to the world. ADC, as a coalition platform, is supposed to represent something different from the ruling party. It is meant to unite various political interests under one strong goal: defeating an incumbent government. In such a setup, the strongest candidate is not always the most senior politician. It is the one who can pull the widest support with the least resistance. Peter Obi fits that description more than anyone else at this moment. His support base is organic. It cuts across party lines. It includes people who have never voted before. It includes Nigerians who no longer believe in old political promises. Ignoring that reality would be a costly mistake. The statement from Peter Obi's running mate's brother is therefore not reckless talk. It reflects conversations happening quietly among political actors. Conversations about electability. About regional balance. About credibility. The truth is this: presenting another northern candidate under a coalition platform weakens the message of change. Nigerians have seen that path before. It feels familiar. Too familiar. A southern candidate, especially an Igbo candidate, sends a shockwave. It forces a new debate. It challenges old voting patterns. And it gives ADC a clear identity in the race. This is why the call for Atiku to step aside is gaining attention. It is not about disrespect. It is about reading the moment correctly. Politics rewards those who understand timing. History remembers those who place country above self. And now that the words are out, the silence from key actors will matter even more than their speeches. Zoning is not written in the Constitution, but it is written in Nigerian politics. Anyone who ignores it usually pays the price. It is one of the few unwritten rules that still shapes trust, balance, and acceptance across the country. Right now, by political understanding, power is still expected to remain in the South until 2031. That reality has not changed. Yes, Bola Tinubu is from the South. But zoning does not stop because one Southern president is in office. Zoning is about fairness across regions, not protection of one individual. This is where the ADC calculation becomes serious. ADC is not the ruling party. It is a coalition party. Its job is not to protect the status quo. Its job is to challenge it. To do that, it must present a candidate that clearly represents balance, inclusion, and a fresh path. Running another northern candidate under a coalition ticket sends a mixed signal. Many Nigerians would ask a simple question: if power is still meant to stay in the South, why move it back north under a different party name? That question alone can weaken momentum. This is why Peter Obi's name keeps returning to the center of the discussion. His regional background fits the zoning logic. His political story fits the demand for change. And his past performance shows clear national reach. This is not about emotions. It is about numbers, perception, and trust. In 2023, Peter Obi did something rare. He built support without state power. He mobilized people who felt ignored. He gained votes in places many thought were impossible. That data is still fresh. Political strategists do not forget numbers like that. Atiku Abubakar, on the other hand, carries history. That history includes strong networks and deep experience. But it also includes repeated contests and old political baggage. Fair or not, public perception matters. The argument being raised now is not that Atiku cannot win votes. It is that Peter Obi can unite more anger, hope, and belief at the same time. Zoning strengthens that argument. An Igbo candidate under a national coalition forces Nigerians to think differently. It breaks old habits. It opens a conversation about fairness that no slogan can match. It also reduces regional resistance in the South, where many voters already feel it is their turn to lead. This is why Hakeem Baba Ahmed's position is important. His words suggest a path where Atiku does not lose relevance but gains respect. A path where leadership is shown through sacrifice, not insistence. Politics is not only about standing on the ballot. Sometimes it is about choosing who stands there. ADC leaders understand this risk clearly. If they ignore zoning, they risk losing Southern enthusiasm. If they ignore Peter Obi's base, they risk losing youth energy. If they ignore national mood, they risk becoming just another party. That is why pressure is growing quietly. The idea being pushed is simple: let the coalition present a Southern candidate that excites voters and unites regions. Let experience support popularity, not compete with it. Let ambition serve strategy. This is not a settled matter. But it is no longer a private thought. Every delay, every silence, every careful statement is now being read closely. Nigerians are watching not just what leaders say, but what they avoid saying. Zoning has placed a mirror in front of ADC. And the reflection is clear. Everything now comes down to one decision. Not speeches. Not interviews. Not press statements. One decision. And that decision will define how serious the ADC truly is about winning power in 2027. This is the point where politics leaves theory and enters reality. The discussion is no longer about whether Peter Obi is popular. That question was answered in 2023. The discussion is no longer about whether Atiku Abubakar has experience. That has been clear for decades. The real issue now is direction. Coalitions only succeed when ego is controlled. History is full of alliances that failed because too many leaders wanted to lead at the same time. ADC was formed to avoid that mistake. It was designed to pool strength, not multiply ambition. That design is now being tested. Atiku Abubakar sits at the center of this test. His next move will speak louder than any campaign promise. If he insists on contesting again, it will tell Nigerians that ADC is not different from the old structure it claims to challenge. But if he steps back and supports a southern candidate, especially Peter Obi, the message changes instantly. It becomes a story of sacrifice. It becomes a story of national interest. It becomes a story voters can believe. This is why the words attributed to Hakeem Baba Ahmed continue to echo. They offer Atiku a path that preserves relevance without forcing division. A path where he becomes a bridge, not a barrier. A path where his legacy shifts from repeated contests to historic contribution. The phrase, "Let's try an Igbo president," is powerful because it is calm. It is not angry. It is not demanding. It sounds like a nation thinking out loud, asking itself an honest question. Why not now? Nigeria has tried many combinations. Military rulers. Career politicians. Technocrats. Old alliances. New slogans. Yet the same problems remain. In moments like this, voters often look for a bold change, not a safe one. Peter Obi represents that bold change to many Nigerians. Not because he claims perfection, but because he represents an alternative path. A break from political entitlement. A signal that leadership can come from conviction, not inheritance. ADC must decide if it wants to ride that wave or resist it. The ruling party will not make this easy. Power is never surrendered politely. Tinubu's camp understands politics deeply. They know how to exploit division. They know how to weaken coalitions from the inside. Any sign of confusion within ADC will be used against it. That is why unity is not optional. It is survival. If ADC presents a divided front, voters will sense it immediately. Nigerians are tired, but they are not blind. They can tell when leaders are serious and when they are negotiating positions. This is also where timing matters. The longer ADC delays clarity, the more energy it loses. Momentum is fragile. Once lost, it is hard to rebuild. The excitement that followed 2023 is still alive, but it needs direction. A clear southern candidate provides that direction. A clear message of fairness provides that direction. A clear break from old habits provides that direction. Atiku supporters will still matter. His structure will still matter. His voice will still matter. But leadership is not always about being in front. Sometimes it is about knowing when to step aside so the group can move forward. That is the weight of this moment. ADC is standing at a political crossroads. One path leads to compromise, confusion, and familiar disappointment. The other leads to clarity, courage, and a genuine fight. Peter Obi's name on the ticket would not guarantee victory. Nothing in politics does. But it would guarantee belief. And belief is the fuel of every successful movement. As 2027 approaches, Nigerians are watching quietly. Not shouting. Not marching. Just watching. Waiting to see who understands the moment and who misses it. This chapter is not a conclusion. It is a warning. History rarely announces itself loudly. It waits for decisions. And the decision ADC makes next will tell Nigerians everything they need to know. As the conversation around 2027 grows louder, one fact is now clear: the opposition space is under pressure to make hard, strategic choices early. The call for Atiku Abubakar to step aside in favor of Peter Obi under the ADC platform has shifted the debate from speculation to serious political calculation. This is no longer about individual ambition. It is about alignment with national mood, regional balance, and electoral reality. Zoning expectations, voter sentiment from 2023, and the search for a credible alternative to the ruling party are now shaping decisions behind the scenes. Peter Obi's continued relevance reflects unresolved voter demand for change, accountability, and inclusion. At the same time, Atiku Abubakar's position reflects the enduring influence of experience, structure, and long-standing political networks. How these two forces are managed within a coalition framework will determine whether ADC emerges as a true challenger or fades into internal disagreement. What happens next will not be decided by public speeches alone, but by quiet negotiations and strategic restraint. The outcome will signal whether Nigeria's opposition has learned from past elections or is preparing to repeat familiar mistakes. For now, all eyes remain on ADC and its key figures, as the choices they make will shape the tone, direction, and credibility of the 2027 contest.